And so the whole lie that people are coming out to see Angel Reese is going to get exposed, and Angel Reese is going to start sniffing around the WNBA transfer portal and look for a way out to go jump on some actual good team where she can just rebound and dress up as basketball Barbie.
Jason Whitlock talks about Angel Reese quitting on the Chicago Sky. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
The Chicago Sky got the brakes beat off them by the New York Liberty, the defending champions. If you watched it, it was like, I think the game ended with a 24-point loss, but if you watched it, it was just as much a blowout as what the Fever put on, the 35-point loss. The Liberty pulled off at the end, or basically the entire fourth quarter and much of the second half. And the Chicago Sky kept their starters out there. The game wasn't as close as the final score. And Angel Reese was perhaps worse than these highlights I'm going to show you.
Basically, Angel Reese, she's just good for getting rebounds. That's her main thing. Miss every shot, get the rebound, and try to score, but she can't make a layup. She's pretty much trash on offense, doesn't do anything on defense. I think her WNBA career is over sooner than later.
This is all part of the myth that I'm supposed to believe that Angel Reese is some great player, she's the rival of Caitlin Clark, and that Indiana Fever fans taunted her with racial taunts, and people are actually believing it, buying it, and selling it. It's all a myth and a lie, and you have to be a part of some religious cult to actually believe that Angel Reese is some sort of effective, big-time basketball superstar. Your initial thoughts to that?
No, Angel Reese, she's just good on social media, throwing up certain pictures and videos, but as far as being a WNBA player, she's nowhere to be found. I think all the extra stuff going on is just to calm the noise down, to take attention away from her playing like trash. And again, she's just good for social media. I guess bringing some social media awareness to the WNBA, but outside of that, there's no comparison with Caitlin Clark. There's no real rivalry because she's not a good WNBA player.
I mean, let's make this very clear in terms of actual skill and maybe even production. It is not a rivalry.
It's not.
And if it is a rivalry, it's Benzino biting at the heels of Eminem at his peak. I mean, what are we really doing here? Now, Jason, go back to the box score. You said she was 0 of 8 or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's literally the only player in basketball history at any level, male or female, you could literally see all her offensive touches in 45 seconds. I mean, just watching that, it reminded me of a dog chasing its tail. It's futile. She's going to keep trying. The harder they try, the worse the efforts get. That particular sequence reminds me of one of the most memorable playoff moments that I can remember. Is 1993 Game 5, Bulls-Knicks, tied up at 2. The Knicks had gone up 2-0 in that series, best known for the John Starks leaping left-handed dunk.
Classic.
Chicago ties it at 2 at Chicago Stadium. Game 5 goes back to the Garden. And Jason, you must have been able to remember this one. Knicks were down by 1, and Charles Smith had about 15 looks right underneath the basket. Kept getting blocked, kept getting blocked. Then he missed, kept getting blocked, kept getting blocked. And then he was stripped. And in essence, the series was over. Knicks fans have never gotten over it. And Jason, I'll give Charles Smith this. He was actually met at the rim by great athletes. What's Angel Reese's excuse?
Yeah, no excuse for Angel Reese. And I thought she was supposed to be training with Lisa Leslie. Lisa Leslie basically told her what it is. Like, we got a lot of work to do this offseason. I guess the work didn't work out. Lisa Leslie probably gave up on her after a few weeks because she can't even make wide open layups in practice. So, again, we already know what Angel Reese is. Get on social media, put on something that look good, and that's pretty much what she is. She's a social media star, but nowhere close to being a WNBA superstar.
The other thing I want to admit is that Charles Smith was actually a pretty good NBA player.
He was.
Early in his career with the LA Clippers, he averaged 20 points a game. A couple years at the Knicks, he was a double-figure scorer. Angel Reese can rebound and has an attitude and has trolled Caitlin Clark into some sort of relevance.
Yeah, she's a troll.
And there's this racial protection of Angel Reese. Somehow she's important, and somehow anything that bad happens to her, because I'm sure what we're going to hear is like, Well, she's struggling offensively because of all the stress she's dealing with. She's created this stress by trolling Caitlin Clark and by trying to pick fights with Caitlin Clark and by jumping up and getting in Caitlin Clark's face. And Steve, this is going to end in embarrassing fashion. This is my prediction, Steve, that before this season is over, Angel Reese is going to figure out a way to tap out, quit basically, and demand some sort of trade, because this Chicago team is one of the worst teams in the WNBA, in my opinion. Part of that is because they can't even play the right way because they have to pretend that Angel Reese is some sort of offensive player, and they end up ignoring Carmela Cardosa, the actual better offensive player in the post. And so this is going to be a team that wins few games.
Yeah.
Attendance in Chicago is going to dip as they continue to get the brakes beat off of them. And so the whole lie that people are coming out to see Angel Reese is going to get exposed, and Angel Reese is going to start sniffing around the WNBA transfer portal and look for a way out to go jump on some actual good team where she can just rebound and dress up as basketball Barbie.
Yeah, that's her best bet. She can't really lead a team by herself, so I can see her quitting on the Chicago Sky. I don't really know what's going on as far as the WNBA rosters, but if she's smart, I'll reach out to Caitlin Clark like, hey, I know we got our beef going on, but why not join forces and try to win a championship with the Indiana Fever? I think that's her best bet to kind of calm the noise down completely and end the whole rivalry with her and Caitlin Clark. Extend the olive branch, apologize for trashing her, rooting for her when she got flagrant fouled, and see if she can join forces with Caitlin Clark on the Fever.
That's you know what, prediction. Jason? You know who would be the happiest about that? Her teammates. Someone tagged me and you on that particular clip, and they pointed out something that I didn't even notice. And it goes to show you how she sucks all the oxygen out of the room and takes away the attention of everyone else. During that stretch of bricks, her teammates are open. They're basically saying, hey, right here, I'm here. And I know their thought bubbles are thinking, my 22-footer has probably a better chance of going in than your 1-footer. I mean, look at these teammates like right here. Outlet it. Right, I'm here. I'm open. And I know this from being a very below average basketball player on the playground, and I've talked to people that have played the highest levels. The worst teammate is, or a bad teammate is, a black hole that scores a lot. You know what the worst teammate is? A black hole that can't.
Yeah, she can't score. She can only score on social media. So I don't know what's going to happen moving forward with Angel Reese, but her requesting a trade, I guess, is cool. But she's basically trying to place the blame on her teammates when she's the one that's supposed to be this high draft pick that's supposed to change the franchise around, and she's making the franchise worse. So honestly, yeah, go to another team and just be a fourth or fifth person. You're known on social media. You get a bunch of rebounds and no one really talks about you. But she's basically conceding that Caitlin Clark is a better player and she'll never be on her level.
You have to know your role. And I want to apologize to Charles Smith. Anyone that I compare to Angel Reese, I want to apologize.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you.
Disrespectful.
And this was the greatness of Dennis Rodman. And I remember one of the defining plays he would make a lot. He would battle for a rebound. He'd be right underneath the basket. And there'd be times he had an open layup. You know what he would do, Jason? He would actually dribble the ball all the way out to half court where Isaiah was waiting for him, and they'd reset the offense. The crowd would go nuts at the Palace.
Steve, let me replay the clip of Angel Reese missing these shots. I want to highlight Steve's point. There's a woman off to the right of the screen on the baseline wearing black. She's underneath the basket right now. Then she'll eventually drift out.
This is terrible.
Watch what happens. She starts walking away. She starts walking back. She gives up and starts walking back on defense. She's giving up. And then Angel Reese finally throws the ball out. That's what Steve is talking about.
Yeah, Angel Reese basically destroying the confidence of the team. They're just going to give it to her on the low block. They're just going to expect her to make shots when she can't even make a wide open layup. So I guess it does make sense for her to get traded, request a trade, or maybe the team can find a way to get rid of her. If teammates are just giving up and walking back on defense, it's time to get rid of Angel Reese immediately.
In the second half, where Carmela Cardosa gives up, and you can just see her kind of roll her eyes and start walking towards the sidelines and then look back over her shoulder to see what happens. Angel Reese is destroying the team.
Yeah, once your teammates start giving up on you, you know it's a wrap. It's time for Angel Reese to go Don't know if she's going to be better on a different team, but if the teammates are giving up on you, you know it's time to go. So I don't know what's going to happen moving forward with her WNBA career. She'll never be better than Caitlin Clark, and it's time for her to leave the WNBA.